Well, in my decade at the Folksbiene, unfortunately, I've seen many of the greats, unfortunately pass on. Um, and unfortunately, a lot of their knowledge went with them because generationally, they were not really invested in training those who came after them. Um, they had their own economic concerns about preserving their own jobs. So this predates my time. So that within the Hebrew Actors Union, rather than taking in new, younger talent who would have been trained the old school way, which is by actually working in shows. You start by being, the third spear carrier from the left, and you work your way up to, playing, Lear someday. But they didn't want, as the theaters were closing, they didn't want to lose their own livelihood, which is understandable. But the unfortunate result of it was that they blocked new membership into the union, and as they aged, it didn't really seem to faze them much that they weren't really suitable for the parts that they were playing. So, for example, one of the first times I met, now my mother and father-in-law, and I told them that I work in the Yiddish theater. They said, "Oh yeah, an 80-year-old lady in a red wig playing a 20-year-old," because that had by the 60s and 70s kind of become the joke of the Yiddish theater. So the way that I would kind of describe it is that the golden chain of continuity, it wasn't handed to us. It was like kind of like left lying on the floor, and we had to pick it up and kind of forge our link for ourselves. And so there's kind of good things and bad things about that. The bad part is that you lose that native voice from the material. The good part is that because it wasn't really in any meaningful way part of our personal backgrounds, it means that it's not bogged down in nostalgia, and we're not trying to recreate what once was. We're kind of bringing a new sensibility to it. So it allows it to be something new and fresh. So like with Megillah of Itzik Monger, it's kind of a perfect example. I wasn't alive yet when it ran on Broadway in 68. So I can't try to recreate that production. It's not on film. There's an audio recording of it, but to me, it allowed me to kind of dream about what it could be just based on hearing the music and reading the text. And so the actors that we bring in also kind of bring that fresh perspective because we're having to define it for ourselves.